Hey, what's up you guys? I'm back with another challenge, and this time I'll be attempting to beat the game using the Death Knight build. This build focuses on strength and faith, and I'll be mainly making use of the twin axes followed by the long shaft axe as the main weapon. If this is your first video, hi, I'm Neo, and you can watch me stream Elden Ring challenges like this one live on Twitch. Link in the description down below. If you have any suggestions on challenges I could try out, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. Choosing the Wretch Claws, giving this door a big old push to begin the journey. Immediately doing a swan dive off this cliff, followed by immediately doing a beeline to get bequeathed torrent. Charging up this hill to grab the strength notch crystal tier, which will help boost the damage of my starting weapon, the Lord's Sworn Greatsword that I found in this carriage. Using the stone sword key, I run down into the cellar to grab the green turtle tally from this chest. Now my main aim is to get to the DLC area quickly, however in order to do that I have to kill Mohg, which is not an easy thing to do. First things first is to try get the Night Scav to jump down this cliff, and though his mount is smart and tries to fight back, they both go down. I sneak past some sleepy bats in Fort Farah and end up getting poisoned as I climb the ladder, so it's a race against time to get the Radahn Sword Seal, the legendary talisman which gives me +5 to vigor, endurance, strength, and dex, but also lowers my defense. At the round table, I level up, putting most of my runes into vigor, dex, and strength. Teleporting back to Fort Farah, I spend 3 lovely minutes poking the dragon with a stick till she keels over for that big extra runes. Leveling up once more, this time focusing on strength and dex. It's finally time to face my first boss, Margit. With an unupgraded level 1 weapon, I was surprised to see the amount of damage this big guy was taking, especially after a stagger. Timing my attacks and dodges was essential, though not always successful. However, on my 3rd attempt, I stabbed and slashed and he goes down. Running around in Stormvale Castle, past a couple of dudes who tried to behead me, as others tried to give me some new piercings. I head towards this dungeon where this person is crying over this body, but a bird follows me in and tries to have a chirp with me as I try killing this person. Wait, there's another bird and a dude? Okay, well, this is not a very fair fight. Guys, let's try talking about this. This guy goes down and I'm left with these flying rats who stay too high for me to hit, but swing low enough to blow fire at me. With the last one down, I run back into the cellar, and with 2 quick slashes, she joins her friend, dropping the 2 axes which I quickly equip. Now it's time to face our first remembrance, Godrick. I remove one of the axes, choosing only to wield one for a strong attack. And boy, what a fight that was. He swings, I dodge, I swing, and he rolls out of the way. But I get him down to his second phase with relative ease, getting an immediate stagger for that extra chunky damage, just as he begins breathing fire at me. And I seem to want to cook myself, dodging into the flames rather than away. I give him a couple more slashes with my axe, and he goes down. Jumping down beneath EG, I grab the intelligence tier and a somber 4. At this point, I was debating what weapon I should stick with for this run. However, I felt that the axes made more sense since the Death Knight bosses wield axes, though this will change shortly. At Bellum Highway, this knight comes at me in a jousting duel, but Torrent is way too fast and the guy is left in my dust as I zoom past. At this point, as I rest at the grace, I gave myself the Death Knight's twin axes as I realized that they were the intended weapon for this build, hence the name. So it doesn't really make sense to not use them. At this point, I test out their abilities, and it's electrifying. Get it? The first person I fully test this weapon on is Vite. The weapons are fast and the lightning bonus is great, but I'm not doing a lot of damage. Plus he keeps sending me into madness. So after he kills me, I choose to run past him on the 2nd attempt and run straight into the Church of Inhibition so that I can spawn behind him when he kills me again. And just like that, I don't have to deal with him ever again. Next, I attempt the Erdtree avatar. With a stagger, he's down to half health. I back off to heal, and then I run back in to stay up close and slash. I get another stagger in, and I can smell victory. I stay below him, swinging some more till he falls, dropping the lightning shrouding crack tier, which increases my lightning damage by 20% for 3 whole minutes. It was at this point I realized that I had to respec, since I didn't really need so many levels in my dex, but rather more in my strength and faith. So to do that, I have to fight Rennala. But first, I head to EG to level up my axes. I can level them up twice, not bad. I spent quite a bit of time running around everywhere, collecting all the somber stones and golden seeds to level up my weapons. Then I head in to face Big Red, looking at the majestic red head dodging all my attacks and me failing to dodge his. When my hits do land, damage is quite significant, so it boosts my confidence. I swing and slash and miss, and when we're both down to a sliver of health, I push in for one more slash, but he gets to it before I can, and I fall to my knees. On my second attempt, I put on some armor, disguise myself as a finger maiden, and that does seem to do the trick. I hack at him with the axe, and down he goes. So I go back to EG, increasing the weapon to +4. Now it's time for Rennala, getting her down to a quarter of her health on her first drop. These axes are amazing. On her second drop, I get her into phase 2 with a couple of slashes, and just like phase 1, phase 2 goes off without a hitch, and she joins her students. I then choose to follow Raya's questline to get to Volcano Manor, buying the necklace from this dude at the boiled prawn shack, and for the first time, I buy some prawns to progress his questline too. My pockets might smell fishy, but at least the prawns boost damage negation. I returned the necklace to Raya, and she rewards me with the invitation to Volcano Manor. So next up is Gillica. I stay right below her and slash upwards till she collapses. This fight is over 2 minutes, thanks to the quick slashes and lightning bolts. I run past her to collect the ritual sword tally, which increases my attack while at full health. Heading to the right blood ruins, I fight Magnus to get the somber 6. I promptly beat him swiftly on my second attempt. We shall not talk about the first attempt or how the dogs used me as a chew toy right before I could start my second attempt. I run around picking a few more golden seeds to level up as I make my way towards the next big boyo, Radahn. But first, a quick pit stop to buy some crabs, which greatly negate damage. Okay, I can't delay this anymore. Let's fight Radahn. You're joking, right? The lift bugged out and I still fell to my death. Real funny. What a way to start this. Now let's see the actual fight. What the actual baloney was that attack? I don't think I've ever seen him doing that attack in my life. Honestly, I think I was doing pretty well. On my second attempt, I disguise myself as a maiden once more and head back in. This time I'm ready for him. He pounds the ground like a toddler throwing a tantrum, and I stay below him, slashing at his feet as his tiny little horse buckled beneath his ginormous mass, getting him down to the second phase as he launches himself up into the sky. I dodge, bobbing and weaving his attacks. I slash at him with some more. He kills Best Boy, and I'm out for blood. I head in below his feet and I slash viciously to avenge him, and down he goes. Next up, I attempt DTS. Sneaking up on him, I give a mighty slash. My chances were slim, he is so aggressive, and I was not positive that this was possible. But slash after slash, his health bar goes down, till there's nothing left. I will even go as far as to say that this might have been my best DTS fight ever. Next up is Ghost Loretta. Let's see how that went. Baby, let's go! That was nice. I liked it. After a conversation with Ranni to start her questline, I proceed to run around collecting some more runes, fighting another avatar, grabbing Somber Stone 9 from this lovely teapot, and the Somber 8 from this dung beetle. Next, I head in to fight the Cleanrot Knights. The first one falls in a matter of seconds, and the second one quickly follows, rewarding me with the Golden Scarab for some extra rune acquisition. I head into the Wainham Catacombs, pay a toll, and get the Lightning Scorpion tally. After dealing with this lovely boy who dropped his armor. Great, at least I can look a little bit decent now. Fighting the Putrid Avatar, he goes down, but I go down with him as I try to switch the Golden Scarab as he hits me with his dying breath. Unfortunate, but I still got it, buddy boy. Sucks to suck, I guess. Now it's time for the Godskin Noble. My biceps must have been extra pumped because my throw goes super far, but my second throw sends him to the Sandman, and I take the opportunity to slash him for a rude awakening. We trade a few blows and he goes down for another nap, which I take advantage of right before he tries to flatten me. I'm out of sleep pots since I wasted the first one, so now it's just up to combat, and he rolls over me and bumps me with his stomach when I get too close. He somehow manages to shove me into a wall, sadly ending my first attempt. On my second attempt, I was determined not to waste any pots. I chucked them directly at his face, and as he fell asleep, I slashed, even getting a stagger in, and a second stagger puts him down to a quarter of his health as he naps again. A few more slashes and the fleshy mess is gone. Making my way to fight the golden bar, and even though I was taking some hits, I managed to drop him on my first try with a stagger. Returning to Vare to continue his questline, he rips my finger off. The main goal is to get to Mohg to see how I would fare against him in my current state. Upgrading my weapon once more, it was finally time to face him. I was not very confident in my ability to beat him, but I was not going to let that stop me. I hacked and slashed and even got a stagger in, but he healed and defeated me with a swipe of his trident. All in all, I think that first attempt went well, as I was doing a considerable amount of damage. So let's try that again, and again, and again. Pause. I think it's time to change my course of action, and I head to get a blue dancer tally by eviscerating the golem in the high road cave. This tally increases my damage the lighter I am. Heading back to Mohg, this time he was a quarter of his health before he got the better of me. My confidence went up. I steeled myself, then went in again. Yeah, it wasn't working. I need to level up, so I went to fight Margit instead, throwing all my weight into the axe like some lumberjack. The demigod goes down. I then make my way to the serpent. Switching the weapon to the serpent hunter, that was by far my best Rykard fight. Down in the Eternal City, I fight myself. Then I feel a bit more confident. I go to try Mohg again, but once again, he annihilates me. Not letting that stop me, I hop right back in. Hey, listen up here, Mohg. You gotta die. You're embarrassing me. I pause once again to retrieve the axe tally, which increases my charge attacks by 10%. Then I immediately get back into it. Frustration's high. I go to take it out on the poor Mausoleum Knight to get his armor set, killing him over and over and over again. Finally, I get the greatsword drop and go to the round table to level it up and add some infusions to help me against Mohg, and back to torturing myself. The bleed infusion was definitely helping, but there's only so much it could do. It took me a total 34 attempts and an hour and a half, but I could smell the victory and I went in for the killing blow. I was finally able to get into the DLC, heading straight into the Black Gold Knight fight to try to vanquish him and get him out of the way, but he proved to be the best fighter and I died, so I'll leave him for later. Instead, I head back to retrieve the Gravel Stone Seal, which I immediately upgrade. Next, I ambush this guy to collect the Dragon Cult prayer book, and I go to Round Table to listen to the teachings of Brother Korn, purchasing the Lightning Spear incant to achieve some more charge attacks. Get it? Next, I go fight this Hammer Bro, who's blocking the door, and I can't get past him without fighting him. Like most enemies in this DLC, he's a formidable one, but I stand my ground till I walk back a little too much and I fall off the edge. You can actually see the shock of my face when I don't die. Sadly, he also follows me down, but I bring him to his knees. In the castle, after dying a couple of times to the multitude of enemies, I decide my best bet is to run past them, which leads me to blindly enter the wrong room. The enemy is then choosing to follow me to the gate to have a party. Not today, guys. Rennala time, and it's a game of keep away, healing and getting a few jabs in when I can. She was taking very little damage, and her sword plus magic attacks provided to be too strong for me. I needed a few more upgrades before facing her again, so I went off collecting more Stragadoo fragments, and oh boy did I suffer for it. Pushing open this door, I came face to face with the Dancing Lion. His quick feet and hot moves won him this dancing battle, but I go in again and died to his frost, and once more to his pounces. So I decide to change course. I have to beat most of the main game in order to level up myself a bit more to be able to deal with the DLC. So I go speak to Gowry, who asks me to kill Commander O'Neill. He pretty much goes down before he even has a chance to fight back. Returning to Gowry, I collect the unalloyed golden needle, which I give to Millicent. In return, she gives me an heirloom. Grabbing the Valkyrie prosthesis from the shaded castle, I return it to her, making my way to the Windmill Village to fight the Apostle. My first sleep pot throw was once again a whiff. I guess I don't know my own strength, but the second one lands directly on him, and he goes nighty-night. And with a few more slashes, I send him to eternal slumber. Heading into the Forbidden Lands, I yoink a Somber 7 from the skull. I kill this beetle to grab the Somber 8. Killing this glowing beetle gives me another 8. Then I free Albus. Commander Neil is up next, and his ghosts hit hard before I even have a second to swing at them. However, I managed to get one down and turn to the other. This one goes down much faster as he is in mid-run towards me, and it's time to turn to a big boy. With a stagger in, he goes down to half health, and right as victory is mine for the taking, I fail to dodge. and he stabs right through me. So back I go, this time full on attack mode, defeating the first ghost easily. Second one quickly follows, and I take out Big Boy, killing Anastasia for the ancient somber stone. Now time to light up some statues. This one, this one, this one, and this one. Running on this big tree, I head in to fight Loretta. I do take some hits, but she stands no chance and goes straight down. I kill this avatar for the Lord's rune, loot the hero's rune from this corpse, going back to round table. I sell all my runes to level up my vigor. Then travel back to the Halictree to fight the ulcerating tree spirit, which is definitely one of my top 3 most annoying fights. With a sliver left on his health bar, I go in for the kill, but as my luck goes, his stomp was faster. Honestly, not bad. That was my best attempt at him so far. Going in again, I get immediately grabbed and given a smooch to my death. 5th time's a charm. Joining Millicent to help her fighting her sisters, I go down into the lake, but Millicent comes in clutch and defeats the bloody finger as I'm dying. What a legend. Completing Millicent's quest, I return to Gowry, and as he's grieving, I slash him and put him out of his misery. Collecting the canvas tally, I rearrange the talisman using the green turtle tally, the dragon crest shield, the lightning scorpion charm, and the ritual sword tally. I put on a brave face and my dancing shoes, then return to the dancing lion. I get a stagger in, sending him into an electric frenzy. I don't hold back, and he's down to half health. And just like Elsa, he floods the place with frost, and I succumb to the cold. After round 7, I call it quits once more, ending back to deal with Rellana instead. I kept jumping at her and slashing her, trying my hardest to get a stagger in, and I was finally rewarded with one when she got to half health and powered up her weapons. With no flasks left and with her health less than a sliver, I go in for the kill. Yeah, I should really learn my lesson, but that filled me with rage and confidence, so I went right back in. After half an hour, I was hesitant to get too close, but I gave it one last final shot and came out victorious. Rennala the Moon Knight, more like Rellana the Dead Knight. I'm hilarious. After spending some time running about collecting more fragments and runes, I realized that I have to beat the golden hippo in order to progress further. First attempt, I got him down to half health, even though I seemed to have a tendency to roll right into his mouth for a bite attack. And as he shifted into the thorny pain in my but this is not a hard battle. I was just having difficulty with reaching. Since the axe I have, I need to be inside of him to actually land any hits, which also gives him more chance to hit me. On my second attempt, when he's down to his last legs, I get pierced from below, but third time was a charm. Impressed by my ability to kill a hippo, I go kill 2 for some more Skadudu fragments, getting used as a chew toy in the process. Next, I make my way to the Dark Light catacombs, running around blindly in the darkness and getting ambushed a couple of times till I reach the light at the end of the tunnel. Just kidding. Back to the pitch black since I don't have a torch. I swear there's a ledge there. Illumination! After getting lost and getting killed a couple of times by some Dementor wannabes, I find the right ledge that leads me to this corpse. Looting it rewards me with the Death Knight's armor set. Dying to yet another Dementor, I decide to leave the catacombs altogether as I finally had what I needed. Look at this boyo, with some pretty good stats into damage negation and resistances, but mainly each piece's ability to enhance the skills and incants of ancient dragon cults by 2% each. Next, I head towards the runes for the two-handed tally. Since I am dual-wielding axes, then I head into the Scorpion River catacombs to get my weapon, grabbing the knight's lightning spear. Then I make my way to deal with the Death Knight. Please don't kill me, I'm a big fan. Whoops. Honestly, not as bad as I thought it would be, considering that last time I managed to beat him, I was only long range. At least I get to look at this majestic cloak as I die, and wishing I could take it for myself. Second round goes much better, and down he goes, giving me his long axe. So now that I have the full Death Knight set, I strengthen the axe. At level 8, the long shaft axe is already better stat-wise than the fully upgraded twin axes. So I make my way to Somber 9, then to Round Table to fully upgrade the weapon. So it's time to put it to a test. Starting with Mr. Twinkletoes Lion, I was ecstatic with the damage and even managing to get a stagger in. Dodging, bobbing, and weaving, another stagger, and he's finally dead. This weapon is so sick. Lost 2 things to collect our talisman, and my build will be complete. The first to get is from the Church of Benediction. It took me some totally perfectly planned parkour, a drop, and there it is. The Blessed Blue Dew Tally for some passive FP regen. I'm so happy that this has finally implemented into the game. The last tally is from the gravesite plane hidden behind this waterfall. It takes some skilled parkour once more. Olympic gold goes to me, or just give me the two-headed turtle tally. That's good too. This tally greatly increases stamina recovery. The build is officially ready. I fight the tree sentinel and he goes down swiftly on the second try. But I wasted a death for no reason, because he doesn't drop any runes. Also, bears are a no-go, because the bear has some friends who ram you to death. Fighting another tree sentinel, this time ending him in round 1. I finally get some runes to level up. Next up is Commander Gaius, commander of the Stabby Stompies. I got him to phase 2, but he's a huge pain, and I get stabbed one too many times. He is another one of my top 3 hated bosses. His attacks are frustrating, and I often get stuck in healing animation. It feels like I'm not learning his attacks. The battle is infuriating to say the least. There was also the issue where Torrent spawns in with little health he'd have from the previous battle, causing him to die immediately. I played around with my physics and with the equipped tallies to see if there would be any change. And finally, Commander Gaius falls with a stagger that I put all my weight behind. With frustration still fueling me, I jump straight into the Skidoof Avatar fight, almost getting him to phase 2 on my first try. Second time around, and it's time for the second phase. This boss is one annoying prick, but with 1 HP flask left, I get him down to his last phase, taking an immediate light blast to the face, and a jab later I go down. Once again, 5th time's the charm. Going into his last phase with 8 health flasks left, I defeat him easily. Let's go! Going into the Cathedral of Manus to begin the quest lines, then going to test out my new stats on Romina. As she is almost dead on my first try, I miss a stagger and the rot kills me. On my second try, the crawler turns to dust. And now I do a bit of a free fall into the next battle, the Putrescent Knight. Overall, not a hard battle, but I do fail a few dodges, so I quickly run out of heals and die. With each attempt, I got him closer and closer to death, fully committing on my 5th attempt with no healing pots left and a whopping 25 health left. I stand victorious, giving this finger a little kiss and one more to this one. I return to the cathedral to speak to Magnus after running through all the dialogue, and he gets off his throne. I press the button and climb down the ladder to yet more fingers and kill Anna, blowing into another finger, and sends me into the battle with the mother of all fingers. What a monstrosity, her touch as painful as she is nasty. I quickly die. On my second attempt, however, I amputate her permanently. Heading straight into Messmer, I am quickly given a quick history lesson in why exactly he's called the Impaler. He has a flurry of attacks, and he is so aggressive that I barely get a hit in. On my third attempt, I switch around the tallies, and he was taking way more damage. Fourth attempt, and with a couple of staggers in, he's almost down for the count. After a couple more tries, I take a break from this masochism to collect more Skadoodoo fragments, killing another Hippo, and traveling blindly through the Dark Knight catacombs once more to deal with the Elder Inquisitor. The fight overall was going quite well, but his teleporting and summons got to me. Sticking closer to him on my second attempt, I get as many hits in as I can before he can spam his attacks. He finally goes down. Next, it's time for some sneaking around in the Abyssal Woods to get to Midra Mansi, running past all these enemies as I make a beeline for Midra. Unfortunately, since I need to stay close to hit, I get burnt to a crisp a couple of times. A few deaths later, yeah, this fight was not fun, but finally the fire hazard is extinguished. I shall reward myself with sitting at disgrace and leveling up in preparation for the next fight. 3 bosses stood between me and defeating the DLC with this build: Messmer, Bayle, and Radahn. Of the 3 evils, Messmer is the easiest, so let's go back to him. Full of determination, I swing my axe and chop at him, sending him to phase 2 where the snakes come out to play. What is it with this game and snakes? Sadly, it took some time, pain and effort, but I was not about to be defeated again. My confidence was low, but my strength high, as I swung at the noodle boy and he went down. Sprinting through Inner Limb, past some enemies who would love nothing more but to say hi to me, I do some sick parkour and collecting Euphoria. a weapon which I would love to make a playthrough with. Let me know in the comment section down below if you'd like me to showcase this weapon. The enemies in this area hit like a truck, but I finally make it to the litter box and fight Hornset, quickly vanquishing him. Then Dryleaf and Leda spawn in, and it's a 2v1. It turns into a game of keep away as I sprint from their dual attacks, leaving splotches all over the sand, till I'm cornered. Their spam attacks are brutal, and it makes it into a very punishing fight. On my third attempt, I decide to fight fire with fire, playing aggressively and eliminating Dryleaf, then focusing solely on Leda, stun locking her with my attack till she collapses as well. I enter the penultimate battle arena, choosing to deal with Radahn first since he is the worst one. He's one big, scary, aggressive mother trucker who loves to give hugs. My heart was even stolen once. I try out different tally combinations trying to maximize damage. After a few rounds, I do a little digging and find out that he's resistant to lightning damage. Fantastic! So I head back to Rennala to respec myself, switching my strength to 99, focused mainly on physical damage. So let's see if that helps now. Maybe? I play around with my armor till I'm light loaded, making my dodges and moveset more fluid. I could tank most of his attacks, but was not looking good, but I just kept trying. After 49 attempts, I pause the masochism, heading to the shaman village to collect the golden braided tally, which boosts holy damage negation, helping me to tank more of his second phase attacks. Okay, back to the torture. At 64 attempts, I was tempted to end my run there, but I was too deep into it. At 68 deaths, I changed tactics, heading to the Cathedral of Manus once again. I defeat Count Ymir in a couple of swings. Okay, so I'm still able to deal some damage. I was beginning to doubt that. I collect the Sword Hand Spirit Ashes, then I head back to the Shaman Village. Some parkour into Rabat's Rise. I collect the Yolan and Anna Spirit Ashes, so I head to the Round Table, strengthening them at this thief, and it's time to test them out. Oh wait, I'm missing the bell? Never mind, just you and me, buddy. Yeah, that's what I thought. So yeah, let me actually go buy that bell. Now let's test them out. Yes, this definitely helps. After almost 2 hours, I was out of options. Except, what's better than one Death Knight? That's right, 2 Death Knights. And we double teamed him till he crumbled. Now I know technically using the Mimic was a bit of a loophole to this challenge, but at 90 deaths with no major changes, I was feeling loopy, and I'm no god gamer. Plus this was just my second time killing him overall, so I'm sure with more challenge runs and practices, I'll learn his moveset. It was Bayle's turn to feel my wrath. Traveling to the Dragon Spit, I had to fight my way through the Ancient Dragon Man in order to get to him. I was unstoppable. I'm always impressed by Bayle's entrance and the open arena in general. I'm so flammable, jeez. His phase transition is brutal, but as much as possible I stuck to his hind leg and tail. After 13 deaths, I decided to call in some backup, using the Mimic tier once more, bringing this challenge run to its end at the 229 death and 23-ish hours. I honestly love doing this challenge, and it upsets me to no end that I had to resort to using the Mimic tier, as I feel that it makes this fight much easier, and that was not the point of the challenge. However, for the sake of bringing the challenge to an end, it had to be done. And that is how the Death Knight beat the DLC. I'd love to hear your feedback in the comment section down below. You can always catch me live on Twitch, link in the description, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Toodles.